All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
Now it's Crowell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw, Darnold. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. First and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kevin Pierre-Louis, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Detroit! Detroit!
To the air, Allen. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kevin Pierre-Louis in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Gone! 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 Gone!
On 2nd down, Darnold over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He's got his man here. It's Green. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. On the run, it's Crowell. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Foster. Fights through, and now a crease. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Robert Foster, 81 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. And able to find Green. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They run again on first down. Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen throwing on second down. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Leopard!
Allen now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
All right, here we go.
Allen will try again on second down. That's Foster hauling it in over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. This is first and goal from about the 8. They'll run with Cook. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Here's Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kevin Pierre-Louis in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Allen now on third and goal. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. One play has them to the 37 here for first and 10.
Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They keep it with Crowell on first. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on second down is Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. Over the middle here to Rudolph. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Vikings. 3 touchdown passes now for the rookie Josh Allen. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Yeah, 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Uses the spin. And now running right through it. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. New York set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. He turned it over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here's Darnold. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Allen to throw it. They shakes him off. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robert Foster with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
To throw is Darnold. Green's got it over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
With that type of force on contact, as an ex-DB, I expected the ball to come free. I really did. I thought that was going to be an incomplete pass. I've got to admire him catching it, taking the hit, and getting the first down.
Well, any time of those cross. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast door. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Williams to return. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Right back to him on first down. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Darnold. And then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Powell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. Here's Sherrills. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They run it again with Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he can get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Colby Listenby, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On the counter, it's Crowell. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Darnold now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. A give. This is Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And the Jets set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From his own goal line, Darnold, he's going to air it out deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Cook. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that will be incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throw left side complete. It's Foster. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Back now here on EA Sports, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Set. 3-19.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd down, Crowell. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Jenkins leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Allen going to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Foster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
No. Check. Patriot.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
So out now come the Jets. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Darnold. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on football.
Going underneath for Corral. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. On 1st down, it's Darnold. And he whips that one incomplete there. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Second down and 10, Darnold. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3.
Allen to throw on 3rd down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
From the end zone, here's Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 12. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Minnesota, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's yet another loss as they've started out now